Why do you do this?
Because you had love in your hands, and you gave it up.
But they would have killed Wesley if I hadn't done it.
Although The Princess Bride is a story of romance and swashbuckling action for all ages, there are some secrets about this movie that make this movie more than what I've described. While some of these facts will surprise you like Inigo, the others will leave you surprised like Visinis' intellect. From Fezzik's competitive alcohol capacity to Visinis' ludicrous educational history, here are some crazy facts about The Princess Bride. Make sure to stick to the end for the bonus fact as well. Number 10. Who the novel was for. The novel is actually a heartfelt dedication to someone who the author, William Goldman, holds very dear to his heart. His daughters. William revealed that while looking for inspiration to write a novel, he decided that the next one would be dedicated to his daughters, who were 7 and 4 at the time. When he asked his daughters for an opinion on his decision, the first one said, Princess, and the second one said, Bride, from which the title of the bestseller comes. So if you thought The Princess Bride couldn't get any better than it already did, think again. Number 9. André's insane capacity. The movie is memorable for many things, from the iconic dialogue of Inigo and swashbuckling sword fights to the cutesy romance. The movie has everything. But there's one thing about this movie that is more amazing than anything else, and you'll never see it on screen. What are we talking about? It's André the Giant's capacity for alcohol. André the Giant could apparently down 3 bottles of cognac and 12 bottles of wine and still only feel a little tipsy at best. The second greatest thing in the film was his appetite, of course. He could eat for 10 men and still 10 more, apparently. Number 8. Diving into quicksand. If there's one thing this movie gets right, it's the stunt scenes. Although it's nowhere near as advanced as what Tom Cruise pulls off, it's infinitely more dangerous considering the safety technology at the time was horrible. One particular scene that was dangerous to film was the one where Wesley, played by Cary Elwes, dives headfirst to save Buttercup. The director suggested jumping feet first into the quicksand pit, but Elwes insisted that doing so would not be heroic. Elwes then jumped headfirst into the pit, which made that shot all the more memorable. Number 7. Lights out. Well, you might think jumping headfirst into a quicksand pit might be the height of dedication in this movie, but you'd be wrong because Cary Elwes literally volunteered to be knocked out for a scene. When Wesley discovers that Count Rugen is the six-fingered man, the script immediately directs for Wesley to get knocked out. But Christopher Guest, who played Rugen, was scared of hurting Elwes, which made the shot look unconvincing. Elwes suggested Rugen just go for it, and go for it he did. Rugen ended up hitting Elwes so hard with the butt of the sword that the actor ended up waking up in an emergency room. The shot was perfect, so we can't say Elwes' sacrifice was for nothing. Number 6. The struggle. Most people don't know about this, but The Princess Bride was a movie that was many a director's dream to direct for years on end, but it kept getting thwarted due to one reason or another. As soon as the bestseller took off on the market, many a director tried to get the rights to direct the film but failed. Robert Redford, Norman Jewison, John Boorman, and Francois Truffaut had all tried to get the book adapted into a movie. But due to various reasons, like production houses shutting down and actors getting fired, the movie kept getting delayed. At one point, a then unknown Arnold Schwarzenegger was even cast to play Fezzik. We could have had a big, muscled-up Fezzik instead of the gentle giant we know of today. Are you enjoying the video so far? Well, before we head into the top 5 facts about The Princess Bride, drop a like so we know you stuck around. Now on with the show.
I want to be wearing them in the future.
I just figured when you give me so much trouble.
Number 5. Visinis' intellectual prowess. Visinis the Sicilian, who is played by Wallace Shawn, wasn't just a genius because the script demanded it. He was an actual genius in real life. Visinis' intellectual prowess wasn't just limited to films, but instead of quick, witty thinking, Wallace Shawn had several degrees from top institutes to show for it. Wallace had a history degree from Harvard and also studied philosophy and economics at Oxford. To just put his brains into perspective, he went to give a lecture on economics when the Princess Bride shooting was halted for a day. So if you had any doubt as to whether Visinis, the man with dizzying intellect, had a similar intellect in real life, you'd be surprised to find out that the man who played the character was actually much smarter. Number 4. Miracle Max makes us laugh. Miracle Max, the man who resurrects the hero Wesley, is probably one of the most memorable characters in the movie. Not because of his extreme feats or any other mundane reason. It's because he was so very funny that a 5-minute scene ended up taking the crew 3 days to film because everyone was dying of laughter. Max, played by Billy Crystal, was instructed that he could improvise his lines for his scenes, which he did. What the cast did not expect was the fact that Billy had enough jokes to keep going on, and he never even repeated the same joke once. He almost always left the crew rolling in laughter, which is why the scene ended up taking longer to shoot than needed.
I promise I will not kill you until you reach the top.
That's very comforting, but I'm afraid you'll just have to wait.
I hate waiting.
Number 3. Fighting demons. Now, The Princess Bride might be a whimsical movie meant for all ages, but for Inigo Montoya, played by Mandy Patinkin, playing his character was not just an opportunity to show his acting prowess, but also to face his demons as well. Patinkin had lost his father to pancreatic cancer in 1972, and on reading the script for Inigo Montoya, he felt immensely moved and felt a personal connection with his character. He felt that if he could defeat the six-fingered man, it would be a symbolic victory for his victory over his dad's cancer. Although Inigo's dialogue when he meets Count Rugen has become a worldwide phenomenon, it had a much deeper and more personal meaning to him. Number 2. Roberts was real. Get ready to have your minds blown. In the movie The Princess Bride, the main character, named Wesley, goes off into the world to make his fortune so that he can marry his love, Buttercup. But news soon reaches Buttercup that Wesley was killed by a pirate named Dread Pirate Roberts, who is later to be revealed to be Wesley himself, who had actually bested the real Roberts. But what most people don't realize is that Pirate Roberts was actually a real Welsh pirate that lived in the 18th century and was active in the Caribbean. How crazy is that? Number 1. Cliffs of Insanity. One of the most impressive fight scenes in the entire movie is the fight that takes place between Wesley and Inigo. It is not just a masterpiece in writing, it is also a masterpiece in research. Goldman, the author of the novel, spent several months researching period-accurate sword fighting techniques, which is why all the techniques mentioned in the book are real. But what's even more amazing is that Elwes and Patinkin actually took the time and effort to learn to fence with one another, till their portrayal of the fight was accurate down to the very last dot. Bonus fact: the alternate ending. Many people don't know this, but the original ending to The Princess Bride was a little different than what we know. In the original, the grandfather finishes narrating the story to the grandson, and he goes to sleep. But in the alternate wedding, the boy goes to the window of his bedroom and sees Wesley, Fezzik, Inigo, and Buttercup on their white horses. From the amazing alternate ending to the intense sword fights at the Cliffs of Insanity, The Princess Bride is truly one of the most memorable movies of the 80s. Which fact shocked you the most? Let us know down in the comments section. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you never miss a new video.